Hello, hello, hello. Is anybody out there? Okay, we got a couple of people popping in. Hi, everybody. Hi, Carol. Hi, Christine. Hola. Hey, Kathy. What's everybody doing today? Hope everybody's doing fine and excited to see my earrings, which I'm gonna have to go slow because I'm dealing with wire and things like that, and it's not my strong suit. But I figure if I can handle wire and some pliers every time. Oh, you're beating a bracelet. Whose bracelet are you beating, Christine? So, good afternoon again. This is Leslie Pope, Senior Designer at the Beadsmith. Very excited to bring you another fun project to do using these new Maxima pearl finishes from Preciosa. And these things are yummy. I mean, they are shimmery and shiny and come in like 4 or 5 different sizes and lots of different colors. So this one I picked the 8, the 6, and the 4 because if I went any smaller, I wasn't going to be able to get the wire through the pearls. But I just love these things. And as always, my first thought was hey, let's stick them in some beadwork. But then I changed my mind on that. So, look at this strand. And I love green. But I actually started with burgundy. So, as always, the pattern is available now on the Beadsmith page under I Love Beads, and it'll be under the pearl section. And the video will be available also immediately, but then it'll be up on YouTube in a couple of days, depending on how busy our graphics department is. Those ladies are absolutely fantastic. But you can get the pattern today on the website and have fun. And it is pretty fast, and you don't need a lot of stuff. And I'm only putting on the things that I need on the mat, especially since the pearls tend to roll around, and I think I have a slight tilt in my floor. So whenever something hits the floor, it rolls all the way to the front of my room. So I have I've already cut my lengths of 28 gauge wire. It's very soft, very fine. I have my head pin. I have my 3 different sizes of pearls. I have bead caps, the jump ring, the ear wire, and I cut my little sections of chain just so you guys didn't have to watch me struggle to do this. Oh, and I forgot to say that my partner in crime, Leslie Rogalski, is on the other end fielding all of any questions you guys might have. So, Christine, this ring is called Paisley Dot. It's also available on the I Love Beads page. So aside from your supplies, you're going to need a pair of round nose pliers, and I have chain nose and flat pliers as well, because you need 2 of those to handle this, and some wire cutters. And I'm using the micro grip pliers because I'm working with really small, really fine chain, really thin wire, and I like the grips on the microfine pliers. So I am going to do the center. I'm going to do the center strand here, and then I have the other ones that are already done, and I'll show you how to put the project together after I finish this center line. So let's get started. I'm going to start with the 8mm, which is by far the biggest, and I like putting bead caps on the ends of beads because I think it just adds just a little extra like panache. It elevates it just a little bit. So you're going to thread on your bead cap, your pearl, and your bead cap onto the head pin. Then you're going to make or start to make your loop. So take your flat nose pliers. I'm putting it pretty close to the end because you don't need a big loop. And you're going to bend that over. There you go. 45-degree angle. Or is that a 90-degree angle? And then you're going to start your loop. So I'm going to pick up my round nose pliers, and I'm going to roll the wire around that tip and then roll it a little bit more so I can bring my wire past the loop. There you go. There's your loop. But before I complete this, we're going to slide on our first piece of chain because everything's going to be connected by the chain. So once I've done that, I'm going to make my wrap loop. And I'm doing this backwards. Hold it in your non-dominant hand. Right? And then just wrap the wire around as many times as you like. I do what they call bird cage loops. I do very, very sloppy loops. If you're a perfectionist, you can do, nice, smooth loops. I don't, because I'm not a perfectionist and I'm not a wire person. Okay, I think that's about as far as I can get that. All right, so I'm going to take my wire cutters and just trim off that little excess wire that's like right there, if I can get to it. Try not to scratch the pearl. Come on, baby. There we go. Perfect. And if it's sticking out a little bit, just pop it in. And there is the bottom half of your little pearl link. So here's the fun part. I'll be connecting all of the rest of the pearls through the chain with the 28 gauge wire. So I'm going to thread that on, get it kind of in the middle, thus and so, and then I'm going to thread on the end loop, and then I'm going to thread this back through the pearl, holding the loop, and I'm going to pull it just a little bit. So as you see, there's a slight loop here from the wire onto the chain, because that's what you're going to wrap the rest of the wire around. So I'm going to take my second part of that same piece of wire, and I'm going to thread on the other length of chain and do the same thing. I'm going to thread back through the pearl, come on baby, it's catching on the chain. Oh, there we go. And do the same thing, just lightly pull it so you end up with another little loop of wire on either side of the chain. And then you just make your little crazy wrap loops. And this is so soft that you can just do it with your hand. And I just wrap it around until it tells me that it doesn't want to go anymore. And I'm going to pull out my snips. Snip off that little piece of wire. And then I'm going to do it the same thing on the other side. Try not to, oops, I just caught the chain. Try not to catch the chain, because if you catch the chain, then it's not going to flow. And this one is giving me such a problem. Let me try this with my left hand to get it started. There we go. Just wrap it around as many times as you like, or until it's done. There we go. Take your wire cutters, snip off the excess wire, and I'm going to push that in a little bit so you don't, there you go, so you don't have any little sharp edges hanging out. So that's the second pearl. This is a 6mm pearl, and then we're going to repeat the same thing with the 4mm pearl. Thread your pearl on. There we go. Put it on the last link of chain. Thread it back through. This one's a little more difficult because the hole is a little smaller. There we go. And then I'm going to pick up my last little length of chain. Thread it on. Do the same thing. Back through the pearl. Okay. There we go. And just give it a tug. Oops. And be careful not to tug too hard because it is fairly fragile wire in this state and you can break it. Of course, if you do, you just cut out another piece of wire and do it. And now I'm going to wrap my little excess wire around my loop. Try not to catch the chain because we want it to stay nice and fluid. There we go. And I take my little wire cutters, snip that off. So that's one side, and here's the last side. It's always better to hold things in your non-dominant hand and use your dominant hand to manipulate the wire. So if you're a lefty, that means you would be holding the piece in your right hand and working with your left hand. I am a righty, so I'm holding the piece in my left hand and manipulating the wire in my right hand, making my sloppy loops. And there we go. And I'm going to push that in. There we go. So that is the center strand of your earring. That was pretty fast, wasn't it? Sorry about that. Phone ringing. So that took me, 10 minutes. So you would do 2 more strands. Strand number 2 is two 6 millimeters and a 4 millimeter. And I did not put bead caps around them and the bottom one, but that's on the head pin, and then you do your chain. And then I did a chain that's all 4 millimeter. So you get some nice little dangles at different lengths, and you would take your 2 pairs of pliers, right? Let me get my chain nose here. I'm going to close this back up. And you know, when you open up your jump ring, you twist, don't pull apart. I'm going to hold that, and I'm going to put on 1 strand. And it doesn't matter which way you decide to put your side strands on, just as long as your 8 millimeter strand stays in the middle. And then we're going to close up the jump ring, twist till it clicks. There you go. And then add your ear wire. Slide that on. I can push this close with my finger. And there is your first Pearly Links earring. I was inspired to do this when I saw some beaded chain, and I'm like, you know, I could do that. And I don't know how she did it, but I decided to do this way. Because I love chain and I love metal, but I don't like working with wire a lot. So that is the Pearly Links necklace. Sorry, Pearly Links earrings. I have also done a companion necklace that's getting released today to the bead stores, and that's called the Pearly Links necklace. And this is it. More chain, decorative chain, and 3 different size pearls, 4mm, 6mm, and 8mm. I was just having so much fun doing this, and I was like, you know, I have to make a pair of earrings to go with that. So the earrings are a teaser for you guys to go to your favorite bead retailer and go, I want Leslie Pope's new Pearly Links necklace pattern, and hopefully they will have some of these new fabulous Maxima finished pearls from Preciosa. So I hope everybody enjoyed my fast little demo on how to make earrings. I think the sky's the limit. You can use all kinds of colors. You could make them longer, shorter, more strands, less strands. It's all up to you, the creative bodies of things. So until the next time, which is a couple of weeks, Leslie Rogalski is going to have another lovely, lovely looming project, perfect for the holidays. So in the meanwhile, you can find all of these pearls, findings, chains, and tools from your favorite bead retailer. And everybody stay safe. We're going into the holidays. It's now dark outside at 4 o'clock. And bead on, and remember, we love beads and we love you. Until the next time, take care, everybody. Bye.